The Beatitudes by Dylan McMurray. The Beatitudes by Dylan McMurray. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Number 1. I believe this beatitude means that if someone is poor in something, not necessarily money, God will comfort them. My understanding is this is someone who does not believe in themselves, undergoing depression, or completely lost in life. But if they put their trust in God, they are poor in spirit. Number 2. This applies to me because when I am undergoing an impossible case and I just want to burst, I know with the power of God, I will always be comforted. Number 3. What this picture depicts is a young adult undergoing some sort of hardship. He might be in complete anguish, but he puts all his trust in God. Through the power of God, he will be led on the path. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Number 1. I believe this beatitude is trying to tell us that only when we fully realize we are sinners, we can be comforted. Everybody in the world are sinners. We need to repent. This can only be done when we realize we are sinners, and then we are finally comforted. Number 2. This applies to me because when I am in anguish, I realize I have sinned and I need to repent for my actions. I ask God for forgiveness and pray He will forgive me. Number 3. This picture is shown as a metaphor. It shows many raindrops on a branch, just as the many tears because they are sinners and need to repent. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Number 1. I believe this beatitude means that we can only be a ruler of the world if we let our ruler control us. We need to put all our trust in God and let Him guide us in our words, actions, and our hearts. Number 2. This applies to me because I need to put trust in God that He will always lead me to the right place. I need to trust Him even if it seems the situation on hand is hopeless. Number 3. What this picture depicts is a young adult who is faithful and puts her trust in God. She knows she will always be happy as long as God's will. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Number 1. I believe this beatitude means that we strive to be righteous. If we want to be the most faithful person we can, God will help us on our path to be just that. He will help us to be completely just and righteous. Number 2. This applies to me because I try to be as righteous as I can, and although my path often gets skewed, God always directs me. I always need to trust God. Number 3. What this picture depicts is a young adult looking out into the ocean, deciding what she must do to please God. She is faithful, and if she continuously puts her trust in God and is righteous, she is satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Number 1. I believe this beatitude means that those who show their utmost compassion and caring affection to others will obtain mercy. I believe that those who comfort others are the ones that will eventually receive mercy themselves. Number 2. This applies to me because when I comfort others who are hurt and I may be going through something too, not only will I show mercy to that person, but I will eventually receive mercy myself. It may not be right away, but in the time God feels it is best should happen. Number 3. What this picture depicts is a young adult comforting probably his little sister. You could see that she must have gotten hurt somehow, and passion on his face of him showing a lot of mercy to her. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. Number 1. I believe this beatitude means that someone who follows God and are pure of heart will eventually see Him. I take it as someone who follows God's or her actions, thoughts, words, in their love and are pure of heart will always see God in the end. Number 2. This applies to me because when I go to reconciliation, I am then cleansed. And once I am cleansed, I should continuously follow God's will to stay pure of heart. If I intend to do good and stay just, I will eventually see God in the end of my life. Number 3. What this picture depicts is a young girl completely pure of heart. After baptism, a girl as young as this one depicted can never have a trace on her, so she will definitely see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Number 1. I believe this beatitude means that those who always strive to bring peace to our world will be called by God as His children. God is not evil, and all for us is peace. But when peace is destroyed, He calls on His true children to spread peace throughout the world and prosper. Number 2. This applies to me because I try to spread the peace all the time, no matter the situation. An example being a physical or verbal fight. No matter the intensity of the fight, I try to bring peace to the people because it is what God would want. Number 3. What this picture depicts is a father and a young adult sharing a common understanding of peace. They are both getting along and having fun together, as they are considered both of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Number 1. I believe this beatitude means that people who get persecuted, in not just other countries, but in our country too, for their faith, will get an automatic spot in the kingdom of heaven. Basically, if you stand up for your faith, you will always go to heaven no matter the circumstance. Number 2. This applies to me only in the case I would have to stand up for my faith. Now, it is not just for dying for my faith, but also simpler things, such as saying I am a Christian when questioned and going to Mass to prove my faith. Number 3. What this picture depicts is the Holy Bible as a metaphor for all Christians that were persecuted for their faith. Many people will get scared to pronounce their faith for their death, but in the end, it is all worth it.